Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So I'm on my way to go get my alignment finally. So I'm really looking forward to getting this done. I just installed some Super Pro rear load control arms. You know, I need to get an alignment to get it all back up to spec. You can kind of see the steering wheel's a little crooked to the right. I'm going up to AZP installs. I used to get a lot of work done here when I had my 2013 WRX. They're really good people, really good shop. And I've gotten alignments done by them before and I was really happy with it. So I'm going over there, getting it done, and I'm finally gonna have this car dialed in properly. Finally be able to, dial in the rear camber and everything, just because it's been, I had the stock control arms on for a while, and the camber was just what it was because there was no camber adjustment. So now that I have the adjustment, I'm able to, dial it into exactly where I want it, and finally get the car handling properly. So let's head up there. I don't know how much they're going to let me record on the alignment rack, but if I can get any shots, I will. But either way, I'll show you the before and after alignment specs, just so you can see where my car is sitting, and then we'll go over the pricing and all that, just what it costs. So let's get up to the alignment shop, and I'll touch base with you in a little bit. All right, made it home. I was gonna record more doing some driving and everything, but honestly, I was just enjoying the car so much. Now that the car is finally dialed in, I'm just taking in the moment, enjoying the car, because I really haven't had a proper alignment on this car in a long time. I got one back in March, early March, end of February, and it wasn't right even then. And so basically the car has been a little wonky since then. So it's been really nice to finally have the car perfectly dialed in. I have the steering wheel straight. I'm not fighting, because it was kind of pulling to the right a little bit. So man, huge shout out to AZP. They were, really great. They spent almost 3 hours on the actual alignment, which, is a pretty long time, but they were making sure they were doing everything right. The mechanic and the person that I was dealing with, his name was Manny, really cool dude. He loved the car and everything. And he really took his time, make sure everything was right. He even looked over my, my Super Pro control arm install, make sure everything was good. And it's just really good people over there. I really appreciate the extra time and the extra effort just to make the customer happy and, overall just make this car handle phenomenally. Like I said, it has handled very well, but it always seemed a little bit off ever since I got my last alignment, and I just wasn't really happy with it, but now super, super happy. Let's go over the actual specs. I'm gonna go over what they were when I first came in. Then I'm gonna go over obviously the final specs of what I chose and why I chose it. And then we'll go over the pricing just so you guys have an idea of what it costs to get a proper alignment done, so you'll know what to expect. So right now we're looking at what the specs were prior to doing anything. They literally just pulled it onto the alignment rack and this is what it was at. So as you can tell, The toe was crazy off on this side. You know, keep in mind this was after I did the lower control arm install, so it wasn't always this crazy, but it definitely was off. Even just driving like this, the rear driver's side was scrubbing so much because the toe was so off. It was all the way in basically, and the back of the tire was just scrubbing onto the actual fender liner, and it was, you know, over every little bump. It was so annoying. That is the reason why it was so bad, is because the toe. Now, camber does wear tire quickly, but the toe is what eats tires very fast if you don't get it corrected. So if you don't really care about camber or anything like that, having an even toe is definitely what you want to focus on first and foremost. But as you can see, everything was just way off. My front camber, I was at 2.1 on the driver's side front, 2.5 on the passenger side front. It looked good, but you can tell one of them was a little bit more aggressive. Obviously this side was. If you guys watched the video of me returning back to the Yankee RSO 5RR wheels after I had the Works ZR10s on for a short while, I actually adjusted the camber. So I actually had less than this. I was probably around negative 1.5, 1.8-ish. And then I bumped it to a little bit more because it actually lowered the car a little bit more and actually handled a little bit better. So I preferred a little bit more camber up front. This is just me eyeballing it, just going off the notches on the actual camber plates and just kind of going back and forth and seeing if, it looked even to me. But this is what I, just by eyeballing it, it's close, but I thought it was a little bit closer. I thought it was like 2.4, 2.5, but I knew I was around there. So it was negative 2.1, negative 2.5. Now, I really didn't want to go too much more than this up front. I definitely wanted to be around 2.5. To me, I just preferred a little bit more aggressive up front. I like the way it looks and obviously the handling aspect of it. You will have more tire wear, obviously, with more camber, but I just prefer the way that, that's just what I prefer in my cars and how they feel and handle. I like a little bit more. Pretty close in terms of camber. It was only off by 0.4 degrees, so I got kind of lucky. Some people are off by like a full, a degree and a half, which is pretty crazy. But I was only off by that much, which is not that bad. And that's with, that's after installing my Super Pro control arms. Toe on the driver's side was pretty crazy, 1.3 degrees. This was 0.17, so that was close. That wasn't that bad. But this one was the one that was, again, that was the one that was scrubbing, for the past day or so since I installed the control arms. So I needed to get that fixed no matter what. So now let's go over to what the final specs were, what I decided on, and what we kind of, felt was best for the car. A little bit harder to see, but this is what we decided on. We got negative 2.7, negative 2.6 up front, so, around the same. We're only off by a 0.1 degree, which is nothing, but that is right where I wanted it to be. I'm really happy with that. And the toe, we're at 0.1 and 0.0, so toe is good there. Obviously up front, you'll wear through tires so quickly because you're fighting the wheel as you're driving, and that'll eat through your tires very quickly. So I'm happy I was able to get back into spec for that. So I'll have some nice tire wear. Obviously I'll have some camber wear, but I'm used to that. And I'm really happy with the 2.7, 2.6. Honestly, after driving the car, it feels amazing. Ideally you want more camber in the front than the rear, but that is not how this one worked out just because of my wheel specs and the height of my car. So we ended up, it is aggressive, negative 3.7 on both sides. Now, if I raise the car a little bit, I can dial this back, but I really didn't want to. I'm really happy with the ride height, and honestly, the fitment is so freaking perfect, especially with the spacers and everything. It just looks so good. I did think about taking the spacers off and dialing this out a little bit more, but honestly, I said whatever. I think it looks good. It handles awesome, and for the street, I'm not tracking the car or anything like that, so I'm totally fine with this. I was trying to kind of get closer to negative 3. I really wanted to get around like negative 2.8, but it just wasn't happening with my current ride height. It's really low in the back. And honestly, if I brought it to 2.8, I would absolutely blow my fender off. So this is kind of what you're going to expect. If you get my wheels and spec and everything and tires, and you're wanting to be as low as I am, this is kind of where you're going to be around. You might be able to get around 3.4, 3.5, if you go with a 255 tire, you probably get around closer to negative 3. But I like a Meteor setup. And again, I drove the car home and I took some back roads, as you kind of quickly saw. It handles awesome, and honestly, I'm really happy with that. Very aggressive, but I'm happy with it. Whenever I need to get new tires, I'll just get new tires. Not a big deal. The toe, I don't have toe arms, so I can't dial it into 0, but honestly, for better handling, you actually want a little bit of toe in. So the car actually does handle a little bit better with a slight toe, just because it grips the road a little bit better, and you just have better handling. Ideally, for tire wear, you want 0, kind of like how it is up front, 0.01 and 0.00. That is obviously the best tire wear because there's 0 toe. But with my current height, with my camber, and with just the control arms and no toe arms, this is the best they can get. And honestly, that's plenty. I'm totally okay with that. I mean, if you look at this before, I was at 0.17 and at 1.3. I believe even prior to this, I was even worse. Tire wear has been totally fine. Obviously, there's a little bit more inner wear, but these tires have lasted like 20,000 miles. So I'm not too concerned. If I have to get, a new set of rear tires every 20,000 miles, I'm totally okay with that. But yeah, this is with the toe that I ended up with. Again, totally fine with this. Honestly, I could probably get some toe arms and dial that out a little bit. I could raise the car a little bit more and put a 255 tire on and take the spacer off and get some less camber. But honestly, the car, it just handles so well. For the street, I'm not trying to set times at Laguna Seca or anything like that. This is literally just my daily driver. I really like the fitment of everything. This is a daily driver. I'm not really looking to set any lap times or record times or anything like that. So I'm not too concerned about getting this absolutely track ready. But for me, for the street, this is pretty on point of where I wanted to be. This is obviously going to vary between, different shops, how they do it. With AZP install, this is just what they charge. And, it's very reasonable, and they do a really good job. They're an actual race shop. They race cars and everything. They build actual legit race cars. So they know what they're doing, in other words. I've seen any shops charging from 80 bucks all the way up to, a cup like 500 bucks, 600 bucks. Especially with a corner balance, you're looking at way more. But again, this is a street driven car. I'm not concerned about corner balancing or anything like that. So I went with their custom alignment, which is, basically coilovers, control arms, stuff like that with a lot of adjustment. So this is what I paid. They charge $175 an hour. And then after that, I believe it's $115 an hour. So, it took 3 hours, but they only charged me for an hour and a half. And that's, honestly, that's pretty awesome. So it came out to $250.57, which is more than reasonable. I was doing some research and going around trying to get some different quotes and everything. I got a quote from a pretty good shop, a reputable shop, for about $350. But overall, I trusted AZP. I've been there before and I've been happy with their work, on my previous WRX. So I decided to go with them. They're about an hour away from me, so it was definitely worth the hike. Manny and everybody at AZP treated me very, very nicely, very kindly. And again, they only charged me for an hour and a half worth of time, even though they spent, basically 3 hours on the car trying to get it to my spec and what I wanted. So 250 bucks for an alignment. Yes, you can probably pay less. Yes, you maybe pay more, but that's what I paid. And I'm totally okay with that because now the car is looking proper. It's handling beautifully. I got some really nice camber up front. It's kind of really hard to tell on camera, but the fitment is really nice. When you see it in person, you can really tell the actual camera and everything. It looks really, really cool. Plus, it actually lowers the car a little bit for where I am in terms of camber. Before, when I first got my first alignment back in February or March, whenever, they brought it all the way to 0.08. It was less than 1 negative degree of camber. So it was actually super straight up, and it actually pushed the car up. So there was a lot more gap, and I couldn't stand it. I really liked where my car was sitting, and seeing that the alignment, bringing it back all the way to that, just for tire wear, it wasn't worth it for me. If you remember that video, I actually had some really bad wear on the inside of the tire, and later I found that it was because of toe and not because of camber. So what the shop did, they actually, knocked pretty much all the camber out, and it was just sitting straight up. And it didn't look right. There was too much gap, and it really bothered me. I actually, that night that I came home from that alignment, I immediately added more camber, and I basically threw that alignment out the window, even spending all that time and money on that shop. Probably never going back to them again. Just wasn't happy with it. But again, we're here now. I'm really happy with how everything looks. More importantly, I'm more happy with how everything handles. It looks great. It was a very reasonable price. Again, they treated me really great. So if you are in the Jersey kind of tri-state area, I couldn't recommend AZP Install enough. Really awesome people, really awesome shop. They got a lot of cool cars just sitting in the lot and everything, which you know, I got a couple of them in the beginning of this video. There's a couple GTRs, some really nice Subarus just hanging out, sitting there. So finally got the alignment. We're all set. Really happy with how the car's handling. The steering wheel is straight. Thank God. I couldn't stand it. And I can just cruise and have fun and finally have this car set up properly. So next up, if you guys are curious, bumper is coming. Kind of sneak peek, if you can't tell, I brought my stock 17 bumper completely back to stock. Took all the mods and everything off because everything sold except the bumper. The grill, you know, all the lights here, the lip, everything is sold. It's actually over here. I'm going to be shipping that out. It's embarrassing driving it around like this. It's insane how much a lip does. It's kind of hard to convey on camera, but the car looks like a 4x4. Just without the lip, it's insane. I can't believe how high this bumper is from the ground. And I can't imagine what it looked like stock, you know, on stock suspension. It's probably, you know, 2 feet in the air. It's insane. You know, usually my hand is usually touching the lip. I have probably about 2.5 worth of hand gap here. It's embarrassing. I'm really looking forward to getting my new bumper on the car, which should be on next week. I just spent the past couple days researching and stressing about what parts I'm going to put on and everything. And then I finally made a decision, and I just bought everything today. So that should be in next week. So the whole bumper, you know, conversion 2020 bumper conversion is going to be happening next week. I'll be doing videos on that in terms of, you know, putting everything on, why I chose what I chose, and obviously eventually putting it on the car. So if anybody is interested in seeing that video is going to be up next week. But for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking the channel out. If you guys have any questions, be sure to ask them below. I'm more than happy to answer. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you in the next one.